Hey traders, this is Shogun Chat 247. This morning we are looking at the Euro US dollar as an update to the post that I did a couple of days ago. We have seen a break for the on the daily chart. We don't need to do too much on that because we've already analyzed that. And this is a manipulation break one. We've seen the second break. That means after the pullback of the second break, we're going to see the third break. That's the way we look at the market because this is a trend changing pattern. All right, so that's very straightforward. The 15 minutes chart is interesting. Okay, just took a short, but I want to explain this quickly. On this 15 minutes chart, we have a trend changing pattern here. Okay, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that gave us a strong move down. Then above it, this is where the manipulation phase is very important. Let's put this line properly on this high. How many breaks do we have? Let's look at that. We have the first break, we have the second break, we have the third break. So this tells us that the manipulation phase, which is a trend, is now over. Okay, because we've seen a break of this M pattern here. All right, so where is the price likely to go? We find the low of the trend changing pattern, which is this. I want to use, which is here. That's the weekly structure. That's the first area that we need to be keeping our eye on, because remember, at the back of your mind, you need to understand that this price is still, in most cases, okay, and there's nothing definite, but that's why there's an edge, or there's a strategy or methodology. We will see the third break to the upside, so we have to have that at the back of our mind. So this here, a break of this area will be the first area we're going to be looking at, okay, for a reversal. Then if price stays below, there's a potential for this low here to be broken, because second break sometimes can be a wave of disbelief that people will think that's a trend change. Also, it tends to be the first breakdown of a new trend. Okay, so if you are looking at an uptrend and it's trying to change to a downtrend, that wave two manipulation wave is likely to be the first one that will break the momentum low. All right, so what do we have here? Well, this is very clear and straightforward. If you go to the 1 hour chart, you can see it's there as well. We have 0ABC1 on the 15 minutes chart. We have the same pattern, bigger, 0ABC1, and a break below here will confirm that we have a trend, because that will give us a series of lower lows. All right, we only have one lower low now. We have two lower highs, and the definition of a trend is a series of lower lows and the lower highs. So if we have the lower low, then we can count the wave 0A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once we see the 5, we can exit the trade, because that will give you a trend reset on the time frame. Then we can then look at what we're going to do for the next phase of the market. I currently put the stop loss there because we haven't seen a break. Once we have this break, we can start to bring our stop loss closer to the price. The reason that is important is, once we have a low, which is a trend, okay, anything can happen from there. Okay, the buyers can step in again, because that will fulfill a structural pullback, and we may have a an attempt, which sometimes they can be very strong, because people that are making money here, the last people that are still in the market, they won't come out yet until this low, and they may want to force the market back to get a higher exit in the price. Okay, so this is a quick update that the euro looks promising. Actually, I want to share the Canadian dollar Japanese yen, the same pattern. Very important actually. This is key. If we look at this, we have a trend changing pattern here. We have the first break, second break, the second break. As I said before, that's the characteristics of the second break. It tends to be the one that breaks down the structure before they go back and complete the third break, which is always very strong, as we have seen in the Euro 15 minutes chart. So this here is a buy. If you haven't bought from here, then the second buy is here. And our expectation in the Canadian dollar Japanese yen is for price to break this high, okay, before we see a major move to the downside. So what our focus this morning is on the Euro US dollar. The picture is very clear. This low, which is the 115.11, okay, we need to break it for a short-term trend. Okay, that will give us a downtrend. That means we have two lower lows. Okay, and we can then keep an eye on the way the price is going to behave. Okay, so our medium-term target is the 112.14 structure, and is a weekly structure. So keep an eye on that. All right. Alternatively, okay, as you should always have an alternative scenario. So if we don't break this low, because this candle already satisfied the higher lower low by counting the candles, if we don't break this low, a break above here, now we can actually bring the stop here. All right. If we don't break this low and price starts to break above this center point here, that is a valid buy entry, because we don't have a trend to the downside, and that will give us a retest of this high. And also, nothing has changed on the daily chart. The daily chart is still very strong. You can see the daily chart. Okay, the low of yesterday is intact, the high of 2 days is intact. So this is how we read the market. We keep an eye on the bigger picture, and we've come within, I think this is more than 50% of yesterday move. Let's do that exercise. We have the time. Let's use this one. Yes, we've come below the 50% of yesterday, more than 61.8% as well. So that is a good indication that we are having a strong pullback. Okay. Okay, that's an indication that we're having a strong pullback. And the break below here is key, 115.12. All right. So that's it for this week. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. My name is Shegun 247, and I hope to see you in the next video. God bless.